Okay, so I saw this tweet recently and they said, "What opinion about music will have you like this?" And then someone quote retweeted it and said that women make better music than men. And I wholeheartedly agree with this statement, and let me tell you why. So, I just think overall women are expected to be a lot more innovative in general, like with their album concepts, album art, their lyrics, their stage performance, all these things. And Taylor Swift has definitely said this basically with every new album cycle, people are expecting her to come out with something that is different for her, but challenging for her, but that kind of provides comfort for us at the same time. And so I think whenever you have that standard and you're used to just pushing the box and like having that creativity, then that just really leads you to new heights in a sense. So I think that that is part of it. And also, I think that I believe Calvin Michael said this on YouTube, but women are just allowed to be more vulnerable than men in terms of like the subject matter and things like that, and just able to kind of talk about stuff that a lot of men don't, or if they do, then they kind of get frowned upon because of toxic masculinity and stuff like that. So having that vulnerability in music is just something that a lot of people can relate to, and just something that a lot of people are ultimately going to appreciate. Yes, we love bangers, of course, but also at the same time, people really enjoy, thoughtful, heartfelt music at the same time that can be very introspective. And so I think that's another reason as well. And I think that's ultimately why women make better music than men. Of course, I have albums by men that I really enjoy. Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder is one of the greatest albums of all time. I love Ram by Paul McCartney and things like that. But whenever I sit down and I think about the albums that have impacted me the most, the albums that I love the most, the albums that I keep going back to, and the ones that have really helped me when I'm going through a tough time, it's always albums by women. Every single time. Butterfly by Mariah Carey is my favorite album of all time, and she was going through a very tumultuous period in her life, And on the song Butterfly, she said that that is something that she wished that her ex husband, Tommy Mottola, would say to her, spread your wings and prepare to fly, for you have become a butterfly. And that's just a really beautiful song to me. That is one of my favorite Mariah songs of all time, and every single time I listen to it, it just like hits me all over. And so I just really love that song particularly. My All is kind of about, Derek Jeter and everything that happened there. Close My Eyes is about her childhood. Outside is about being biracial, which I can really relate to as being biracial myself, but also, it is something that's been able to reach so many different people just because of how open that the interpretation is of the song in itself. And even off that album, Mariah has songs like Can't Take That Away, which I have really been able to relate to for sure. And she also has Through the Rain as well. And yeah, she just has a lot of songs about, triumph and, getting through things that have been really relatable to me and that I love. And even outside of that, she just has a lot of great songs that I personally enjoy listening to. But her vulnerability really means a lot to me and has definitely been something that kind of has her as one of my favorite artists of all time. Janet Jackson, The Velvet Rope is another one of my favorite albums of all time. This was about her childhood and just things that she was going through. And she basically said, I could have tried to push that to the side and make an album, but I had to, get into that and everything. And even in her song Special, she's saying, basically we can't hide from our past and everything like that. And the whole album is just her going through, moments of pain that she's had and self reflection and all these things. And it's a really beautiful album as well. I love Fiona Apple and how she's able to write about her pain from relationships and life, and Extraordinary Machine is a song that's very relatable to me as well. I love Beyonce songs, and a lot of them are just about, empowerment. And sometimes you really need that pick me up because, you're just not feeling it, or sometimes it's just something that's really great to listen to. I love Megan Thee Stallion's music as well. And yeah, so there's just a lot of different examples on, why for me I like women's music more. Also, I'm a woman myself, so it's a lot easier for me to relate to what other women are speaking about because you hear something like, yeah, I've been through something similar, or I know someone who's went through that. So it's just an entirely different thing. It's an entirely different connection for me. And also, women are just kind of allowed to have a different sense of style and things like that. So I think a lot of different things kind of tie into that and expectations and whatever. I think a lot of times men are just allowed to get away with being very mediocre and just making the same song 87 times because, like, oh, we know people are going to listen to it. And some just are lazy and they don't really care about artistic expression and everything. They just care about, okay, what's going to get me a hit. Like, and like I said, not every song really needs to be, like, so personal and heartfelt and deep because not every song calls out for that. But, that's just something there. And not every artist wants to do that. Some people just want to make, light, fun, happy, upbeat music. And I mean, to each their own. But, for me, I think that's why women make better music than men overall overall. Also, I think that women tend to be better singers than men. I mean, just the range, the tone, the creativity, especially with vocal layering. Whenever you're talking about artists like Mariah Carey, Brandy, among others, is definitely something that really stands out to me, and it's just really something that's more pleasant to me to listen to overall. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts on this topic down below in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? What are some of your favorite albums by women? Are there any points on this topic that I forgot to talk about or whatever? But this is a really fascinating topic to me overall.